What's up, YouTube? Back at you again here with another video. Mustangs on the slab, lights are strung, you know the deal. Just a few more little things to wrap up on this and the motor itself, and we can get that sucker put into the car, okay? It's gonna be a good one. Stay tuned, live action's coming, and hopefully by the end of this video, we'll get the first start up with that new combination, okay? It's gonna be a good one. I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, so we got some 36-pound Ford Racing fuel injectors and some BBK fuel rails, and just bought them used off eBay, so that's going to be pretty sick. Gonna have to obviously plumb fuel lines through the whole car and everything. But for now, Jessie, my girlfriend here, is putting T-handles on the valve cover. She's going to take each one of these bolts out, put T-handles in both sides, and then just a few other little things on there to help me out. And I am going to get some custom fab finished up on the car. We got to finish up what we did last year on this side, just grind all the welds up, you know, a few little holes to fill on this side, paint it up, whatnot. Get our brake master cylinder back in there, some new brake lines ran. I got some new struts to replace these old crappy ones. And we got to do some new flex hoses. And then she'll be pretty much ready to drop that motor in. Look at these things, guys. Excuse me. Look at these things. They're looking pretty good. Hey, the paint's just drying. That's why it looks all glossy. But yeah, they turned out pretty decent. You know, there are some imperfections there, but we don't have to worry about that. Alright guys, I just got this side done. New brake line in there, strut installed, everything's back together. Mose is here. Yeah. After work, came to help me out. He's just doing this brake line for me that he cut off back in the winter. Or 2 years ago, I guess now. 2 winters ago. And then he's gonna run that through and then we can install this side. Alright guys, we got everything mounted up and the brakes all bled out. Just got to top up the master there. And you can see our line lock mounted there and everything. Austin got this side all put together. New flex lines are in. All the brakes have bled. There's the new line we ran. It's all looking good. Even bled the back too. Back working on the motor today. Austin's here. Yeah. We're gonna see how much we can get done. It's a little late in the day, but we're getting going. I got a bunch of stuff to make our fuel system up here, a whole bunch of fittings and whatnot. Austin's gonna make a couple brackets up that we need, and I'm gonna get working on the just tearing away at this motor, putting the crank pulley on, and then I'm going to be putting the Holley Terminator X full standalone system into the car. So I'll show you guys that in a bit here. It's going to be sweet. Replaces the whole engine harness and the PCM and everything. Okay, I'm going to hop right to it. Guys, I got our crank pulley on there, and then I took our whole factory wiring harness out because we're replacing it with this here Holley Terminator X, which literally has every single wire that's ran for the, hey Sarah, there you are, for the engine management system. The only thing that stays in this car is the dash harness, which is for your headlights and all that stuff. That's the only harness that stays. The whole engine harness gets replaced with this. It's gonna be sweet. Now that I have all that out, I'm gonna finish up with some mechanical stuff, like put the headers on, put the starter in, finish the bell housing bolts and stuff, because it actually gives me some more room. And then we'll put the new harness in. Austin got these brackets made up. This is the RaceX Media Quality Custom Fab here. You know, get her done quick and fast. Chevy, ready to rip. Yep, let's get her. Throw some blue paint on there, we'll be ready to rip. So, we got this header in here. Just got to bolt it up, but it's finally in. Of course, we had to take the transmission out and drop it down so we could get it in there. Just gonna bolt this side up and then take the steering shaft out of the other side, get it in, and then hopefully all the fitment's good with the steering shaft and everything and the starter, and getting the transmission back in I'm a little bit worried about, but we'll just see what happens. All right, guys, we're moving forwards again now. We went backwards and now we're slowly moving forwards again. So I haven't been filming because I've taken this header out and this valve cover off probably at least 4 or 5 times now, and I had to do it again. So I had it unbolted to put the tranny in, and then I bolted it back up. But then I realized pretty quickly I could not get that starter in down there without taking the freaking header off again. So I unbolted the header again, got it in, got the valve cover back on, but yeah, it's just been insane. All right, guys, so Jord's here now. I'm just buttoning up some stuff in the engine bay here, and I got Jord doing what he came over to do because he's super excited about it. Oh, yeah. He is mounting the Holley Terminator X ECU under the seat.
I get to play with the expensive parts today.
Yeah, so we got that here. There's the ECU and there's the bracket, so he's gonna do that. And we're just gonna keep buttoning some stuff up under here. So I'm a little confused. Jord is installing a ECU and he's got a hammer out.
All right. See this back seat bolt? I got the nut off because the nut's right here. I don't know how you cross-threaded that through the floor, buddy, but...
Remember, I built this thing. So, Jord, here's the thing about these bolts, is they thread in through the factory holes in the floor and through the nuts on the bottom.
Really?
So if you just unthread it, it'll come right out.
Oh my, well, you tell me these things, you know?
Well, you know, I built these about 3 years ago, so it's all coming back to me now.
Hey, look at that, it's coming out now.
Yeah. Trying to hammer through thread. Well, at least we know those factory seat bolts are strong. You know, when you're taking your distributors apart here, it's always best to use a nail as a pin punch. You're only... Oh, I missed. You're only a true Canadian if you've used a nail as a pin punch. You guys should have just heard what this freaking guy... So I asked him why he ran this wire like a flop cock over here instead of back through with those ones.
It's really simple. So when this wire catches on fire, you know which one it is. You know, not the whole harness on fire, so it's one wire on fire. So
I have never. So basically, if like one wire catches on fire, then it doesn't melt the rest of the wires.
Yeah. Look, I'm used to my wiring catching on fire.
I can tell. Oh yeah, I guess I'm the one that let your wiring on fire last.
Yeah, that's true. That's your fault.
Hey, if you guys haven't seen that video yet, make sure you go check it out. Jeep vs. Pond Part 2. For startup. Why don't we have fuel pump? Can you tell me that?
It's,
film them reading the instructions.
well, it might not. Yeah, try going through it. Okay.
Alright guys, so I just got this little O2 bung just quickly welded on here. Not looking too bad. Got her welded all the way around. So did that and then blocked off these guys here because they're just on one pipe and I want to be reading at least one whole bank. So I'm gonna put the wideband O2 right there. All right guys, we've got quite a bit of progress here. Intake's all bolted down. I got us all wired up with our TPS sensor. I had to pin that and everything. IC's hooked up. I made this for our oil fill because the cap didn't fit, so I just got a chunk of PVC pipe in there and then went with the hose up. Yeah, everything, I just kind of redid all the wiring, just rerouted everything, cleaned it all up, got all our nitrous stuff installed now. I'll show you guys here. This is our micro switch for our nitrous. So when the throttle comes in, I have the cable hooked up, so it's kind of hard to show you, but it bumps that switch at wide open throttle. See? You can hear that click. So that's our micro switch for our nitrous, which the wires are here, and power the nitrous and the fuel solenoid. Right now I'm just about to make a bracket for our throttle because we're not using the EGR spacer anymore. We got to remount our throttle, so I got to build a bracket that comes off the throttle body there. All right guys, so we got this bracket all finished up. It's got some paint on there. I'm just going to basically let that drive and get it mounted in there, show you guys that, and then we'll be pretty much ready after I get this fan mounted, oil put in, and tranny fluid put in. We'll be pretty much ready to give this thing its first startup. We got to go through the Holley system and input all of our info, our cam, our displacement. We got to set the throttle position sensor. All right, guys, I just got all our info put into the Holley and went and primed the fuel pump, and she pissed fuel out of the left fuel rail there, so I'm gonna pull the intake off and see what we got. All right, guys, well, I found out why our fuel leak was so bad. There is a threaded hole in the bottom of this rail. So the intake manifold is covered in fuel right now. All right, guys, it's a good thing I haven't tried to start this yet. I totally forgot to put our dipstick tube in, so I'm going to do that now with the intakes off. I just primed up the fuel system, don't see any more leaks. And this thing I set up to about 35-40 PSI. It is working good. It's dropping slowly, but I'm thinking it might still just be a bit of air in the system. We'll just have to see. All right, guys, intake's back on, and everything's hooked up. So we're pretty much ready for our first fire here. We're gonna try to fire this thing up right now. It's 10 o'clock right now, open exhaust. Sorry, neighbors. Let's see what happens. Ooh. It's trying to go. Just gonna give her a couple more fuel pump primes. Try giving it a little bit of a timing adjustment and go from there. All right, guys, we just got the exhaust on this side all tacked up. Cuts aren't the best. All we have is an angle grinder, so pretty crappy, but it is what it is. I got tailpipe on there, looks good. Got all mocked up. Just got to do the other side and then weld it all together. Alright guys, we just got the exhaust all finished up here. Looking pretty good. Dual side dump here, both sides. Awesome. Okay, now we can try flashing this thing up. So let's go see what happens. Alright guys, so we got our AFRs here. We're gonna give her a crank, see what those are reading, and then once it fires, we'll see what's happening in the engine bay. I'll show you where I messed up. And that, I think, is just oil on the header, I think. Yeah, I think they're just melting off. Burning some steam off. You'll have that on those fresh builds.
Yeah, let's stop bugging our neighbors.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We finally just got it running. All right, guys. So we finally got it to start. Didn't run it for very long because there was no coolant in it or water in it. But I just went to put water in it now and realized the water pump was just pissing out water. All right, guys. So I fixed that water pump coolant leak, but I'm currently draining the radiator again because I've got a leak at the back of the head here coming out of the intake manifold. You can see that water running out of there. So I got to fix that. So upper and lower intake are coming out. All right, guys, I'm torn into this thing now. I got the upper intake off, or the upper and lower intake off. And this is where it was leaking. This is the coolant hole, and it was coming up and going through there. And this is where I had to put silicone and then the valley seal and then silicone because that gap's so big on either side. So I got to go to Lordco, get more of those valley seals. I already have another set of intake gaskets that I think it comes as a kit. But anyways, just go get those and seal this thing back up, clean it up some more, seal it up, and hopefully it doesn't leak. All right, guys, we got all our coolant in it. Or our water, sorry, just water. Check for leaks, don't see any leaks. We'll see again once we start it here. Retime the distributor, everything should be buttoned up. We also had our fuel solenoid for the nitrous stuck on and sprayed fuel everywhere. Got that fixed. And then now our starter solenoid has crapped out. So I gotta jump it with a screwdriver. Let me grab the screwdriver here. We'll see if this thing starts. She died. She's just trying to learn. I was just looking at our IAC position, idle air control, and it was at 68, or is that 100%? So that means our throttle blade's not open enough. So we got to adjust the idle, and then that should fix that. I'll adjust the idle screw, and then we'll start it again. Well, the starter solenoid, I replaced starter solenoid, and it's starting again, so that's good. The idle a little bit, getting it tuned. It still won't move though, but I think it's because the granny's still trying to cycle the fluid through.
I totally heard that. What you doing?
So I'm strapping this harness up out of the way because the headers are getting so hot. Like, I was gonna wrap these, but I decided not to because I was just running out of time. I just wanted to get the car done, but man, I wish I did. Like this air pipe, like you can't even touch it, it's so hot. And every time I touch the tranny dipstick trying to check the tranny fluid while it's hot, it just burns your hand. Like, it's brutal. So yeah, we're gonna have to wrap these headers, but I don't think we'll be able to get it done for the weekend. So I'm just trying to get this harness moved out of the way for our drive. We do not want to melt the brand new Holly harness. Hopefully we can get the tranny to start working. All right, guys, so last night we had the motor running, and our problem was we couldn't get the tranny to go into gear. So after messing around with it for a while, my conclusion was the transmission pump is not turning whatsoever. We have no fluid coming out of the transmission lines. So I think it's the torque converter. We pushed it all the way in, but then we had to pull it out to get it into the flex plate, and I think we pulled it out too far, and it's come off the pump drive. Now, we're gonna have to shim the torque converter back in with some washers or something to get it to get on the pump drive. So we're gonna take the tranny out right now, just a little bit, so we can get in there, get the torque converter back into the drive, and see if we can shim it with some washers. All right, guys, so we have been fighting for a while now, and we've decided to just go ahead, throw our stock converter back in it. We know it's gonna work. We're not gonna have as good of launch times, but this is gonna be our first time out. So we're just gonna put the stock one in it, get it running and driving, and then we gotta get to the track bank because we're racing real quick. All right, guys, so we just got the transmission back in. Stock converter's back in it now, stock C4 converter, from what I know. And we're ready to start up now. Give her the old screwdriver and get this thing started. Then we gotta set the tranny level, and then we can see if those wheels turn.
So, Tyler, would you like to talk us through your race-ready tool setup for the track here?
Yeah, we got a complete set. Ready to rip.
Canadian Tire Special.
Quarter drive ratchet. Just, you can only tighten with it. It's okay.
That's all right.
You can't loosen with it.
Yeah, we don't take things off anyway.
Yeah, we just put more things on. So
Yeah.
we're just throwing this in the car right now because we're going for a rip and we want to have some tools with us. So
You got the ingenious latch set up there.
I'm just trying to figure out
That's just perfect.
how to fix this because there used to just be one clip. Now there's 0 on here. So we want one. So I'm trying to, there we go. There we go.
Look at that.
You can't carry it like a briefcase. You got to carry it.
Ready for the track, baby.
All right, guys, I don't know if you can hear us at all, but we finally fixed our problem. We were having issues with our GPS, so we put a new one on. That's fixed. We got our starting issue fixed now, so we're going for a drive. I don't like, does my side sound like that? Just your side, I think. It could be an exhaust leak. Yeah. Battery volts? Yeah. What is that noise?
Belt.
Let's try to crank. It's trying to crank right now. Go shut it off. Go get it. Get it quick. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Want me
So-
to hit the turn the power on, see if it starts to crank?
No, I want to look under the hood first. All right, guys. So we just died on the side of the road for half an hour. The starter cables, the power lead and the signal lead melted to the header. And as we were driving down the road, the starter just started cranking on us. Lowe's had to come give us a jump because the battery died. And we're heading back to the house now to fix that. I'm gonna give the brakes a good burn.
I was gonna say, don't your brakes suck?
They're good. Just had to burn off all the rust.
Fucking. You're banging.
guys, so we just pulled our valve cover to check our valves, and we found a big problem. This push rod was out of the lifter, and it was pegged like way up there. And this roller rocker was sitting, I think it was sitting like that, wasn't it? Yeah, it was sitting like that or something. And so that's not good. The set screw's chilling down here. Pulled the roller rocker off. It's all smashed up right here from the push rod banging it, and it's a bit smashed here. Roller still spins freely. The top of the valve took a little bit of a nick in it, and the push rod seems fine. Just put it back into that lifter. Threads seem okay. So what happened was basically just the set screw backed out of there. It's a bit of a problem, but is what it is. We're going to fix it, and we're going to tighten up all our valves because it's hot and they still got quite a bit of lash in them, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we just fired this thing up after setting the valves and readjusting the timing, and it sounds way better. We're just going to take it for a rip and show you guys, but I think it's going to be running a lot better, so let's hope for the best.
Dude, it sounds so good.
Yeah. All right, let's go for a
Yeah.
rip.
Having a rocker off will do that to you, eh?
Yeah, and too much valve lash. And timing not set, right?
Yeah, but we're good now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 200.
I was just gonna say, I think 203 right here.
Yeah. Here, hold the wheel for a second. All right, guys. Well, it's doing way better now. We're already able to tell the dirt road getting a bit squirrely, nice and peppy, nice and poppy, how she should be. So it's gonna get down onto some pavement here and let her eat.
I'm driving the car for the first time.
Yeah. Just doesn't get to use the pedals quite yet. She likes dirt roads. You can give her good on dirt roads.
Suspension test, makes her get ready to race.
Yeah. Well, this is not backfiring anymore like
Dude,
it
that's,
was.
oh my god, yeah.
It's gonna give her a change.
Car.
That's what I like,
yeah,
boys.
baby!
Yeah.
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck yeah! Oh, pardon my French.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's how it should be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boys. Yeah.
That's what 8 cylinders sound like.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not even looking here. It's vibing. Oh yeah, you're like 13.2 under throttle. Perfect.
Like, it's so much quieter. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, that's how it should sound. You know? Wanna smoke?
Yeah.
You'll have that.
That's a lot though. Wonder what that is. Probably just our
Wait, that was only $6,000.
Dude, that was just our hands on the headers probably.
Probably.
Move messing with it.
That was $6,000.
Yeah, you're like 12.5 on the gauge. You're good.
That's more like it.
Dude, that's with no nitrous.
Now we're seating the rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be a lot peppier though with the other converter in it and a few tweaks.
Oh
but
yeah.
It's a good base. Like, this is how it should have been the first drive.
No doubt.
No windshield wiper life. It's starting to rain. Oh, look at all that smoke. We should check her out. She's
Yeah.
smoking a lot.
Maybe pull up where we pulled my car up there.
Yeah.
The works, the school work center.
She needed to get some RPM in her. I like driving her on this tire.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, did you see the cloud behind us? There's a huge cloud.
No
It
doubt.
might have been tire too, though.
Maybe.
I think it was mostly oil.
Let's make sure.
weights. Naturally aspirated. Alright guys, we're gonna do a little burnout for you here.
Burnout in Mexico.
Yeah. Down in Mexico here. And we're gonna light them up. Gonna get backed up here.
Oh yeah, she runs good. We got Austin, the designated race car tower. Look at that thing. What a trailer queen, eh? Can't even drive it to the track. That's her, buddy. Loaded up and heading for the track.
Yeah, guys, we just got back from our test drive. We changed our oil. We had tranny fluid pour out all over the ground, so we fixed that. Just had her a little bit overfull. She's just blowing off some smoke, you know, it's good for her. So we're just getting it to the track right now so we can securely get it in there tonight before the gate closes, because we got to be there at 6:30 tomorrow to set up the sound system, okay? So that's going to do it, but we're going to continue this video in the morning. So I lied, guys. We did not continue that video into the morning. However, it will be up next week on the channel. Good race video. Definitely keep your eye out for that, okay? So that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a long one, but we're finally back on the YouTube game, so we got a lot more content coming. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.